because I was older, I'd
Mm.
watched older wrestling. You know, I had sort of watched
Yeah.
the early 90s and then, or not, well, sort of early to mid 90s and so on. So I always had those guys in the back of my mind. And I just sort of had like a sound slanting my chair up.
Yes, lads. It didn't work out quite like it was supposed to, but
That looks okay. Looks black.
Yes.
Looks wet. Oh, give it a lick. Give it a lick. Oh, the nectar. The sweet nectar.
I haven't had a can or a pint of Guinness in like 10th of March or some shit. Oh, when I'm
How's it?
when
When
I'm gonna do
when
to
the
a pint
pub's
of
open?
Guinness. Oh,
Stop it.
It's gonna be like wrestling after dark type shit when I'm gonna
Oh.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. So like I just had that sort of different feel to the other guys there. So then I'd never been to a show. I'd never seen what actually went on. To me it was just training and having a bit of fun and wrestling, and then there was a show. It was like a trainee show. So I was put against Rocky Star, who you might know.
Yeah, I've met him, yeah.
Great guy. Big fan, massively underutilized. But yeah, and so like I was like, right. They were like, so who's your character? I was like, fuck if I know my character. Like, I think I don't even train in maybe 3 months. Like, fuck if I know. I don't even have any gear. And so basically, I modeled myself on what was John Moxley back then.
Oh, I thought you said you modeled, and I was like, oh, he was model.
No, never modeled. Look at me, I'm rotten. I look like a younger version of you. Yeah, like I didn't know. Because at the time, I honestly thought I was the only person in the world who was aware of who John Moxley was. I think I came across him on a couple of YouTube videos. Like, this guy is so cool. Like he was just so gritty and real and grimy. So
OVW Moxley we're talking about, right? Or is that wrong?
I think it was
even before that.
It might have been like CCW stuff I had seen. CZW, is that what
I was going to say? I don't remember him.
Yeah.
For Lars.
It was like real deathmatch stuff. It was before WWE, and he wasn't signed or anything. But it just was like, and I don't even know how I came across it because I didn't follow anything other than WWE. So I was this like angry, bitter man from the streets. And I came out for my first match. Don't even know how I got. The only reason I know I got my name Luther Valentine is I was watching Luther with Idris Elba, and that's why I came up with Luther.
Yeah.
And someone else came up with the name Valentine.
Shirley Valentine, you were watching that?
Yeah, just stuck. But I came out. I had these god awful orange trunks that were more of a salmon color.
Right.
And I got a big spray tan, and it was like Ross from Friends, where he got a 4 and a 4. Like I was literally, if it was a year later, I would have been cancelled for blackface. Like it was that dark. I was just so lucky it fell at that time. And so I had these orange trunks, and then it was Johnny Magico, and I think he was pulling a rib on me. He must have been, because he said, "Do you know what? Do you know what you should do? Put a towel over your head." I was like, "What do you mean? Just go out with a towel? Like you're angry and bitter? That's what angry and bitter people do." And you just listen to these guys. So I came out with this white towel over my head and these orange trunks, and for the solid 10 minutes of what was honestly the most amazing experience, because it was my first match. It was dog shit, but it was amazing. I just got dog's abuse for being a Taz ripoff, and I could see them. I could see them all laughing at me, like they were pissing themselves. You could see Johnny. Pretty sure JDP was laughing his tools off at me. But as soon as after I was hooked, I was just hooked. I could never not do that again. Like,
who was your?
So were you ever like a fan when you were like a kid or anything, or like?
I was always a fan of watching wrestling. So like I watched it I remember watching it. We had it on ITV in the early 90s, and like I always remember 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, and the likes of Sting, but it wasn't WCW, so I can't even remember what it was. But I always remember Sting and like loads of big guys, like big baldy fat guys in singlets. Then I sort of stopped watching it. I think I don't know whether I purposefully stopped. I just don't think we had access to it. But then I always remember it was sort of before It was before Stone Cold won the first Rumble, or not the first one, the one that he proper won. Where he went on and faced Michaels at WrestleMania 14. In and around that time, I was in primary school, and one of the guys was always talking about it. So he obviously had Sky, and I didn't have Sky. But like I was like, who is this Stone Cold Steve Austin? This guy keeps talking about, like, he sounds class. He's running around beating the bag out of people. And I was like, right, I need to find out what's going on. And then we got Sky, and that was me back again. Like, didn't miss a Raw, didn't miss it was Livewire, I think it was called. My dad would be watching Super League on a Friday night before Raw would come on. So like this, I don't know if they obviously taped it on a Monday, but I didn't do the internet or anything then. And I used to get so annoyed if the Super League match went to extra time because it ran into Raw, and I'd be freaking out. Like, Dad, like I was shaking, Dad, fucking Dad, what's happening here? And then it just switched between that and WCW, and just constant. It's all I watched. We had our own, like, we used to go to a youth club.
On Bravo. Did you have Bravo?
We had Bravo, but we never got it on that. We got it on, was it, I'm going to say TNT or something like that. It was like, it was one of the movie channels.
Okay.
It came on. But yeah, like we had our own wrestling company. Like we all loved it. We had our own youth club wrestling company. So every Friday at about 7, you would go. It was the Grove, you called it, and we had it like all week in school. We had done the matches out for the titles, and it was a bouncy. The thing had a bouncy castle and all. So like it was mayhem. And it was title matches and all. And we'd all just batter each other. Like nobody really wanted to lose, so it was kind of a shoot. Like we were always trying to make each other tap out. But we put on a show whilst we were doing it, and then that got cancelled because it's very dangerous, and you can't be doing that sort of thing. Like,
there was a lot of those around. Justy had a fucking a backyard fed, I think. I know Luke had one. I know Burnsy had one that's still on the internet.
Justy had a backyard fed called CCW.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was more professionally run than the other one. Yeah. You check out Extreme Irish Wrestling though sometime. Burnsy had his own.
I'm on it.
And it's like he was Kid Crazy or something he was called, and he was commentated on it as well in an American accent. Which
if it shows me the birth of Justy, I'll be watching it.
But Justy was on. That was CCW. That was in.
Oh, was it?
Burnsy's one of Darren, Dan O'Burns or Darren Burns.
Yeah.
That's whichever one's. In Waterford, he had and it's still up. Extreme Irish Wrestling.
I'm sure it's a great watch.
Good old school backyard wrestling, and that is fine.
Oh,
you know,
where nobody wants to lose. Dangerous game, like it's a dangerous game.
So, who was your first match against?
Rocky Star.
Rocky Star. Sorry, you said that, yeah.
And then, so yeah, and like with that, so I had a match, and like it was just a match, but there was also a battle royal on the night, and like I don't know whether I was watched something. It was always like I got put out, but I was like, fuck it. I just took it upon myself to run back in, and like that was on my first show, and I was like, I'm gonna make something with Rocky. They were always telling make things matter. So I just started this wee mini feud with Rocky, and then we had a wee feud running throughout PWU on their main shows that they were doing, and that sort of took me along for about a year, and it was brilliant. And it got me to winning what they had was the All Ulster title, so that was their secondary title.
One of the nicest belts.
Oh, the red one.
Yeah, fucking class, mate.
Beautiful. I've no idea where that thing is. But I would love to find it again because it is smashing.
Who was the last champ? Was it Michael May, or was it Finn?
Oh, Ulster. It could have been the last one. Could have been Michael May. I don't know. I can't remember.
Probably in the Fight Factory gym, so.
Could be fucking lying somewhere. It's under someone's bed.
Yeah.
I found a belt under my bed there about 3 weeks ago. Like just literally found a wrestling belt. What the fuck did that come from? From culture night up here we used to do.
Oh
every year.
yeah. I remember
And
actually
so
that
then-
was the silver one.
Yeah, so like that was the last. I think I can't remember. I think they worked with the guys from Culture Night to create it because they were hoping to do it every year.
Yeah.
So I won that in the Battle Royal, and then sure everything went tits up. So nobody ever asked me for it. Yeah, so I have a belt. Very nice. I was happy with that on eBay.
Were you PWU champion at some point?
Yeah, twice.
2 times.
Two time. Do you know what? Honestly, my favorite time I've ever had wrestling. It was like, what would that have been? Maybe 5-6 years ago. Yeah, like I was listening to Low Blows, and I seen on Twitter as well, like a lot of people were talking about pro wrestling Ulster and like were the fact that it's not there anymore. And Phil Boyd was saying how much he loved it, and Justy was saying the same. Like,
Yeah,
seriously,
Justy was always a big fan.
there was a period of time for about 2-3 years where like they were getting serious crowds. Like it was just being run so well, and the atmosphere was amazing. And I was lucky enough to be pushed to the hilt, and never really understood why. Because like I would look around and I would see the other guys about, and like what is it about me? Like I always had that sort of. I never really believed in I never thought I deserved what I got there. And maybe it's because you compare yourself technically in terms of wrestling. Like I know you guys put me against Michael May, and I remember thinking, what the fuck am I doing here? Like I haven't a clue what to be doing. But then there's so many different facets to it. It's not just technical wrestling, you know. But it took me a while to really grasp it. But Jesus, they looked after me brilliant. It was JDP was running it, and fuck, I owe a lot to him for that, because they were putting me in with serious talent. You know, got to work with Drew McIntyre, got to work with Al Snow for an extended period, and like that was just mind blowing. You know, he would sit for an hour and a half, talking to you, just telling you like different things about, you know, what you should do, why you should do it, why you shouldn't do it. Obviously never listened to much of it anyway, like later down the years, because one of the things he said was, you know, don't blow your balls on an entrance. Like, right, okay, got that, yeah. And then I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I got to it was like I beat Al Snow for the title for the first time. That's who I beat. I was like, what is this mayhem? And like my family got to go. My dad was there, you know, my sisters, my brother. And like that was honestly like it felt so surreal. Like it felt like really winning something. Because at that time there was maybe about 600-700 people in the crowd in the Europa Hotel. That's not exaggerating. Like it was insane how big it was for a time. I was like, what? Why am I here? What is going on? Like, why am I in this position? But yeah, like, and I loved it. And then I won it a second time, and had it. I lost it in the very last show the PW ever done.
Who did you lose to? Tucker?
Really strange. So what do you call it? Nathan Byrne.
Oh, yeah.
He's a guy who's over in England now. He lives there. He'd always wrestled for PW. But he's a real good guy. He's a nice fella. A lot of talent in him, like in terms of what he's capable of. But it was a Marty Jones show, right? And I'm doing a lot of waffling here, but I feel I need
No,
to
it's
tell you
okay.
this story. Marty Jones. So Marty Jones came over
We
and
love stories.
He'd done a seminar. So he'd done all the stuff, and then he was like the general manager of the show or whatever. So he sat at ringside and whatever, and everything was grand. And I was booked to go over in the main event for the title against Nathan Byrne, and that was fine. And I went over, cheated, roll up, pull the trunks, whatever, 1, 2, 3. So Marty Jones gets up. And it's the first time he gets up all night, like literally not involved in the show at all. He's just sort of watching and clapping, and and he comes in the ring, and he says like he grabs the microphone and he gives off, and he said like, that's no way to end the match. This isn't going to end like this. And I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Like this isn't booked. I'm going, what's happening? Is he starting a match? And then it seemed like he was wanting me to fight him. I was like, I can't wrestle him. Like, he's obviously, he would tie me up in knots, but he's also an older gentleman. I don't know what I'm allowed to do. So I think what he was trying to do was build for a mixed tag match or something down the line. But then I sort of just took the mic and I looked at Andy, who runs it, and I went, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to drop it. So I started going back and forth because the crowd were really feeling it. Like, you could see them. They were ready for, no matter who it is, they'd pushed Nathan Byrne hard as a guy who was going to be the next champion. Whether or not there was any intention, I don't know. But I could just feel it from the crowd that night. And it was a good crowd as well. And I was like, right, you want to do this? Let's do it. So he was going to be special referee. So, like, just on a whim, Marty Jones managed to book me in a match to lose. And all it was Marty Jones pushing me over Nathan, who ducked down behind me. Nathan rolls me up, 1, 2, 3. That was it. Crowd lost their shit. And then Pro Wrestling Ulster died.
So are you blaming Marty Jones?
So I'm blaming Marty Jones killed Pro Wrestling Ulster.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could blame yourself.
And you can send that to him on Twitter. Marty, you killed it. You killed my dreams.
Fuck's sake, Marty. Why did you do it? Why did you do it? Why didn't you? You should have brothered him up, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, but hey, listen, what's meant to be is meant to be, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So who did you beat? Who did you win the second time? You won the belt twice. Who did you beat the second time for?
Haven't a clue. Can't remember. Honestly, can't remember. Tucker. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was. I've wrestled Tucker about 10 million times. Probably my favorite opponent ever. It was a cash-in. It's like a Money in the Bank type cash-in. He just fought Paul London. So that was around the time of Courage, actually. Were you there for that one?
No, I missed that one. We had a show actually.
No.
It was a clash.
Yeah.
It was the singing show, actually, Raven. Remember the form?
Oh yes, I remember. Don't worry.
Shouldn't have happened. Yeah. So it was Tucker beat Paul London, and I cashed in, took the belt, and went on an obnoxiously long unbeaten run where I only defended it twice, I think. So I only had 2 matches in about a year and a half. What are you drinking?
It's just water. It's just in a wicked bottle.
Okay. Fuck.
Bad.
She's burnt out at 22 and 21.
So yeah, that was the second time, and I think I kept it for about a year and a half, maybe close to 2 years. But that was sort of around the time where I took a bit of a hiatus from it all. But I kept it sort of going with this unbeaten thing. Nobody can beat me. Any match I did win was usually by count out or DQ or something stupid like that.
There was a show. There was a show where Phil was wrestling Nick Aldis, right? Not sure were you champion or not, but you were wrestling Chris Renfrew, I think. Yeah. How was that?
Sorry. Should I go? Brilliant. like that was sort of around the time where I started to, and this is going to sound really, really like cliche, found myself in
Why
terms of wrestling. Like,
did he hit you that hard that you
oh, fucking found something
found
anyway.
yourself?
I found a wee poo poo coming out of my bum bum.
I've wrestled him and he doesn't fucking hold back.
No, I loved it. Like, do you know what it is? And like, I listened to the show with Terry on there last week. Like, a lot of the things he said, I was like, Jesus, like he thinks just like me. Like, I can't do a lot of the things other people can do, and I've always been well aware of it. And I think for a period of time, I was always trying to be, like I was always trying to throw in drop kicks or sort of high impact, high flying moves to sort of measure up to the other guys on the show. And then after working with Chris, like I had a match with Joe Hendry, and about 2 months before, and it was one of the worst matches I ever had because I was trying to measure up to Joe Hendry for what Joe Hendry was, who was a fucking, I think, Commonwealth Games wrestler. Like, come on, why are you trying to be Joe Hendry?
Yeah.
Renfrew sort of got it into my head to just like be me, like be yourself. Like, it's a variety show. Nobody wants to see two mirror guys going off against each other, and that sort of just it hit me like a bullet. And I was like, I don't need to do a drop kick. What the fuck am I doing drop kicks for? Or hurricane ranas, or trying to go up top. Just be me. And like, he was brilliant. Fuck, he hit you hard, like, but he put on a show, and it sort of just all came together for me at that point. And then after that, I was like, yeah, I know who I am. I know what I'm about. I'm really starting to like think I could do something with this. There's feuds I could have. I can tell stories. Beforehand, I wasn't telling stories. After that, I was like, stories is where it's at. Telling a story in the ring, building to a story, and thinking about maybe a month down the line, and even though everyone in the crowd might not get what you're doing, in your head, you're almost creating your own movie, your own masterpiece. Like,
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've chatted offline about a few bits and pieces, like creative, like where we're going and what we want to do in Phoenix. And I know we actually got to work each other a little bit in Courage. But I'm like you, I suppose, in a way. I was fucking gutted when Courage closed, because it was our outlet that would have. It was a good idea, badly executed, very badly executed. So they only did three shows, nearly fourth, and we ended up doing the fourth show in Cork.
Yeah, that's right.
But it was a good idea, badly everything. Bar, I think the people that they had inside, the wrestling people, like all the people that they booked, the Irish people they booked. You know what I mean? It gave Rock Shandy a platform to perform.
Yeah.
It gave me an opportunity to mix with you. It gave fucking Steve Savage an opportunity to get out of. Yep. He was rather green at the time, but still probably is in comparison to yourself and others, right? He got to work with the other Chris that hits really hard with the tattoos. Sorry, my
Ridgeway?
Yes. There was and shit like that, and Andy. I got to meet Andy Steele for the first time because we'd never crossed paths as well.
Yeah.
For me, I was always fucking sorry that it closed, and
so was I.
Sorry that it was even run the way it was run, because it had good potential to be something different,
Yeah, I mean their production value was brilliant, and like that's sort of why I really enjoyed it. Was I've always been a big proponent of production value on a show. Like I've been at shows where the ring's falling apart and there's lights on and it's just daylight and a crowd can't get into it.
Yeah.
And then you can't really tell a story because there's nothing you can do prior to it. Like prior to matches, they had video running to sort of tell the crowd what was going on. And that was sort of like, it's like, yeah, right, you have something here. And then they ordered pizza on the first show for everyone. And there was like catering. It was like, yeah, this isn't going to last. This is going to go down to fucking Swanee. You can't, like, that's too much money you boys are spending.
But they had the wrong kind of fucking, afterwards, like, I got talking to, no point naming names, I got talking to, there was only two of them there anyway. But I got talking to one of them. One of them was pretty sound, and one of them was a fucking asshole. One of them was just wanted to do something different and be involved and all that kind of stuff. The other guy was just fucking obsessed with fucking Joe and OTT, and he was there. I have all the venues. I won't leave any OTT run any venue. Now listen to this one. I'll have another beer because you're buying. Like, what the fuck? Like, do you know
like I do. I never encountered him in terms of conversations like that, but I'd heard. And I just remember thinking, like, just run your show. Just run your show.
Yeah.
I mean, because obviously what you're doing is, like, the venue was brilliant. Like, the layout and the setup. You've done a lot right here. And there's a good atmosphere of people. I always think it's a struggle. I always think it's a struggle.
York, right? And you're from the north, but
yeah,
I think the venue was class. It was too, but I lived in Dublin for a good few years. It was way too far away from where it should have been.
Oh yeah.
But if he had all the venues like he was saying, fucking, why wasn't it closer to town and whatnot? But like, it was a very good idea. And it started off with good intention, but it was just I know Raven was as a spectator, like a lot of the OTT guys were there for the, I think it was the last show they ran.
Yeah, I think so.
They're there to support their buddies. You know, Rock Shandy were there and whatnot, and I think OTT were in the next day anyway, or there something like that in there. But
I'm not sure. I wanted to go up anyway, and just kind of like, I just wanted to see it. Like, I wanted to see if it was good, if it was bad, or whatever like that. And like you were saying, a lot of people who wouldn't have gotten a chance on OTT did get a chance on that. Like yourselves, fucking Rock Shandy, Steve Savage, Matt Schuyler was supposed to wrestle on the next show. The
lucky
Courage to Perform one. He was supposed to wrestle on that. He was worth that. So like it was just run horribly wrong from both an outsider looking in and from getting perspective from people who were on the inside. It seemed like it was just kind of like, I don't want to be talking shit because again I wasn't there, but just from talking to other people who were fucking there, it seemed like they just wanted to like be the guys that were like talking to the wrestlers about their matches and going like, so this match has 10 minutes, do this for me, you know, those guys.
One of them did. One of them was like that, but the other guy was the other fellow was a genuine. Yeah,
maybe, and I can't speak properly because I don't even know if I talked
feedback that I've given you because we've chatted about it. This is the truth.
Yeah, there was definitely a disconnect. I mean, like, I think there was maybe over 3 shows. I mean, I dealt with maybe 3 to 4 different people in terms of booking, and what was happening creatively. You know, Southie, he was involved initially, then he wasn't, and like I was like, right, so what's happening? And you know, one person maybe would have talked to me about the match, and then the guy who was running it would be talking to all of us about what was happening. It's like, right, that's completely different to what one person, you know, which sort of actually, luckily enough, meant I just sort of, you know, call me a bastard, took a bit of control of myself and went, right, I'm just going to go with something here and see if it sticks.
Actually, yeah, you were in the first ever Bedlam Brawl.
I was.
You were.
You know?
I'm going to bring back the Bedlam Brawl. I'm going to bring back the Brawl because we already copyrighted Phoenix. It's now called the Phoenix Floodgate match because it was booked in Courage, but it never happened. It happened on the Phoenix Just Enough Courage to Wrestle show. And it's a great...
Oh, yeah, what was this? I remember here, because I was going to try and get down, but I couldn't.
Yeah, do you know what? We welcome back to part 3. I'm here to Guinness, under the tutelage of Luther Valentine, who's trying to direct me how to do it properly. And we were talking about the Courage show, right? The Floodgate match, the Phoenix Floodgate match. But the Floodgate match, in essence, was... really careful here. So 2 people start off in a one-on-one contest with a
Yeah.
with a time limit. Oh, that looks way better than the first one. I'm so excited.
Yeah, that looks much better.
Sorry. Anyway, so two people start off, and then after a couple of minutes,
So two people start off, and now a couple of minutes.
yeah,
Sorry.
and then somebody comes in. It's a triple threat, and after another minute, it's 4-way, and then it's 5-way, and then the floodgates open, and people can come in at any time. So the original floodgate match would be, I think, Marion Armstrong. I definitely know I was in it. I'm thinking Dom Cook. I'm thinking Jay Money, and I'm thinking someone else. I can't really remember. Maybe the Longford lad, LJP. Yup, yeah, that guy. But so we got, when Courage stopped, we did 2 days to go. We obviously we got a venue in Cork. We said, fuck it, let's be the heroes and save wrestling, and we did. But you taking it, like you obviously heard, you got the news like us all that Courage weren't running, so you taking a work shift or something, because then you, by the time we got going, you were like, oh no, I'm actually fucking working. So
yeah, so something. I think I might have took a pub shift, a bar shift.
There was something like that, yeah.
Shift.
Like that, yeah. But
and I think I don't know how keen I was to go to Cork at the time. In my head, it's like Cork's a very far place. I'd near been to Cork. I'd never been to Cork in my life. I was like, I'm afraid to go to Cork. It takes a long time.
It's not any closer. It's still a far place.
Oh, it is, yeah. But yeah, so just I took the bar shift or whatever. But yes, continue. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So basically, that was the floodgate match. But we've copyrighted that now because we were the first ones to do it. I think it's a good concept. You know.
Do you know what it is? Different. And if you play with it right, something good could happen. You know.
Yeah. I don't think we booked it right that time because we didn't really give a shit about it, because we were like,
no.
We had 24 hours to turn this shit around.
Yeah, fuck, man.
We no tickets sold. We just found the first Circus Factory as a venue. It was our first time going in there. And we didn't know whether there was going to be 5 people or whatever. There was 150 people turned up. And we're like, oh my God, thank God. And, you know, I think I'd met Tucker once. I think he worked a CCW show for Lars. Put him in the main event with Ricky Combat. I think Raven Creed made her Courage debut.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't Courage. It was Phoenix. It was just enough Courage to wrestle, and myself and Marion Armstrong. But we were supposed to be booked. If Courage had continued, they wanted to book me, Marion Armstrong, and Matt Schuyler is as a trio in a faction in Courage. So we were booked in the initial floodgate match, but we were supposed to kind of fuck it up.
Right.
They said that Marion could have free reign and say what he wanted and all that kind of stuff. And we were forming a guerrilla, which we had spoke about for fucking years in Cork and doing, and Lee wouldn't let us do it, or Lars wouldn't let us do it in CC. So we nearly got there, but we did. That would have been a lot of fun. That would have been a lot of fucking fun. Just fucking being in Dublin. I'm gutted I'm gutted it fucking it closed.
The Temple Bar show, I really had liked to see how that went. That's one thing I just like. How could that have went? Yeah, interesting.
They lost their balls at that point. I mean, somebody was telling me the pack was like something like $2,000 to book alone, and there was about people at that show, and 40 of them paid. So. Like they couldn't afford the fucking petrol that we'd all spent to get there, to mind the wages we all had, like, because there was 9 matches, like they did a,
and like there was the talk. I remember in their initial days, like the talk of what people were getting paid or being offered to work was mind blowing. It caused uproar on the Irish wrestling scene. The amount of private chats that were going on, like I was involved in a lot of them. It was crazy, like.
I was just glad to be asked. It was nice to be booked.
Yeah, fucking
outside of fucking, like, I've obviously worked CCW in Phoenix, clearly.
Yeah.
Irish Whip. I fucking Dottie a couple of times. Do you know, if you're looking for a super lucha, this guy.
Super lucha.
The most mat-based lucha in the history of fucking lucha wrestling. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I loved it.
God.
I mean, I did. We all did the daddy shit. I'm not too sure. Did you do the daddy stuff for a while? Or,
Yeah, I up until recently, I think my last show was a .ie show.
Yeah, I mean, we've done the. I've been Big Chief Bedlam. I've the most fun I've ever had in the sting ring.
What's your favorite character to play in .ie?
Me?
Yeah.
She knows questions to you.
I mean, my favorite. We all love a bit of hot stuff, like. Love a bit of hot
That's
stuff.
everyone's answer.
But I felt like the last time there, the last couple of times it was Brad Attitude, which I thought. So are these new ones? Oh, you never. So it was Brad Attitude and Action Jackson, facing off, and basically just Brad Attitude.
He should be fucking ashamed of himself.
I know, like it's.
Having said that, he created the Skull Collector, so there you go.
I was a wee bit gutted, I'm not going to lie, because I definitely, somewhere, if I went through my phone, could find Facebook private messages that definitely said he was going to make me the hottest Native American in the country of Ireland. Like, he was going to push me to the hill. He was going to push me hard.
Fucking way were you going to be a better Native American than I was?
It's going to get the new gear in. He's going to make that. I remember that. I was like, don't know about this. Don't know how this is going to go.
I had a 3-hour conversation with him one day, but he had a 3-hour conversation with me. I was saying just yes, no, and just stop texting me, please. about Skull Collector and going to like all these bookings I was going to get and fucking the biggest heel and all this kind of stuff. And like, one fucking booking out of it after buying. Fucking.
Well, that's because you probably got the same messages as me, because they were dead. Like
he said the same thing to Marion Armstrong. He was going to make him a pirate.
They were 100% copy and paste jobs. They were so generic.
Invest in your gimmick, he said to Marion Armstrong. He was like, "Buddy, I've invested fucking 10 grand in a fucking company. Fuck off, like, to invest in your gimmick. Have you not seen the songs like, no, be a pirate, be a pirate."
I loved it. I actually really enjoyed wrestling. A lot of people
had fun, but like, it's just some of the mad.
Like there's like, and I know Terry said there's something about having your crowd work done for you that just doesn't feel right. But apart from that, like it was like there was never any pressure. Do you know, it was fun.
Good place to learn.
You know,
good place to have a bit of fun.
You never felt like, and you knew once you left the show, like you're not going to see any of these fans again. Like it's not going to affect you down the road. So you're like, let's try something. It was a great place to try things out. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I have the world's worst 619.
Billy, I'm sure you actually do.
Yeah, absolutely. It was so bad.
I don't doubt it.
It was so bad that we were doing a couple of shows, and Jamie Coleman, I think, was like sometimes Steve would be up doing something else, so he had people kind of booking the shows from time to time. And I think I was wrestling Danny Butler 2 nights in a row, and the first night we did the 619, and Jamie was being very polite the next day, just kind of trying to say like that, 619 doesn't really get, the kids aren't into it, and it's okay, you can tell me it's shit, like, you know, we'll do it if finished, like, you know what I mean? I know, because it's this one leg spin bullshit, like, fucking teach a 38-year-old man to do a fucking 619, go fuck yourself, you know what I mean? But it was good crack. It was good crack. But I think one of the funniest stories that comes out of fucking Daddy was when Daddy did a couple of shows in Cork. Now, Lars and himself had a couple of run-ins when Daddy first came to Cork. They're invading, bud. And shit, like, and went around taking down Daddy posters, whipping him down, right? And of course, I was with him because I was the chauffeur for CCW for quite a time. So the two lads met each other on the fucking street, Muldoon and fucking Lars. Do you know what I mean? fucking Lars came in on all guns blazing, like fucking he was in the fucking 80s territories. This is my territory, what? And Steve, you can't be fucking ripping on the fucking posters. That's not your fucking fair game. Do you know what I mean? Oh my! And they just had this standoff in the street, and then both kind of backed away. And I know a lot of people aware that the next day in local Cork radio, that Neil Prendeville, who's like, he's the Joe Duffy of Cork, right?
Right.
So he had, Muldoon was on the phone in an interview, and they got fucking Lee on as well, right?
No, this can't be real.
This happened. No, this gets better. This gets better, motherfucker. I don't know, do a lot of people know this, but they were on about fucking. I tell you one thing, Muldoon, he's smart, he can talk, and it's his business. This is his whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's done a pretty good fucking job of promoting through the years, right? And fucking Lee ripping down posters on 96 FM going, "Ain't fucking coming down to my territory, blah, blah, blah." They cut off him because Lee was just being sounded like an absolute artard. Got on Finley's dad, Senior Finley, right? And started putting over Stephen for wrestling and all Irish wrestling, and fucking that his grandson was over in Japan and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Made fucking Lars look like an absolute fucking gee bag. And they did 500 or 600 people down in Silver Springs, and you know, had a great fucking.
Brilliant.
It's just that was an untold story, I'd say. But a year and a half later, they bumped into each other in a pub, right? And both men would like a pint, right? So they decided that they were going to work together on a couple of shows. So Lee was like, Lee thought that was a big win, and he was like, "Oh, it'll be CCW versus .E, bro." You know, and like our guys versus their guys. I was like, yeah, but like it'll be like what? So we at the time we were working for both, right? So, so how does that work? There's a .E show in Cork where Ricky Combats versus Hot Stuff, who's the same person. Who's going to work? Who's going to book it? And who's going to pay us, Lee? Because he pays us better than you. So I mean, all these questions, right? So then Muldoon booked Lars in a couple of shows in Cork, and the first show he booked him as the Cork Kid.
Right.
So he got him to wear a Cork jersey, and he cut up the Cork jersey. It was the biggest rib I've ever seen. He cut the sleeves off the Cork jersey, cut it up like a tank top. Put this kind of fucking Cork bandana around him. He literally he looked like the blue meanie, like the red meanie, with his arms all cut up and everything. Like on the show that day, Brea was there, myself was there, Nicky was there. I can't remember what else was there, but it was just the fucking biggest rib of all time. And then he introduced him, the death-defying, high-flying Cork Kid. Lee just looks over at myself and Ricky. He was just like, this look of despair, just absolute. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Bollocks.
Yeah, he got rid big time.
May he rest in peace.
Good old Lars. But then they don't do a lot of shows down here anymore, Daddy. Or I'd say outside of Northern Ireland. They do a couple. We got the call last year when they did a show in Fermoy right now.
Yeah, like he does. I mean, they stopped
mainly up the north,
a couple of months ago. But like it was always a handy gig, you know, especially if you were getting one local. I always enjoyed. Never wanted to travel. Never, like the traveling for it really put me off. I know a lot of older heads will say, if you want to make it in this game, you have to travel. And you do. But like I was sort of at that stage where fucking 5 hours each way for a 5-minute meaningless match essentially, and you know, £30 or whatever it was. It's like, no, can't justify it. Like it's different like with you guys, and you know, where you get a bit of creativity.
Because we give you more than a fiver.
You give me more than a fiver, but you get a bit of creativity, and like we were saying, you know, you get to tell a story, you get to be yourself, you get to have input in what you're putting together, and a bit of pride in it, you know.
Tell me about the fuck machine.
Oh my god, honestly, honestly, the greatest character in the history of professional wrestling.
Isn't he though?
I mean, you were there. You seen
Yeah,
it.
I was. I was breaking
Um,
the wall.
Like, I mean, I don't even really know how it happened. It was essentially, I think, Justy. So like I drove down with Justy. I think, didn't I? I did.
I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah, you picked him
I
up
did.
first.
I picked up Justy, and oh yeah, it was
Danny.
Justy and Danny and Myla Grace,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah. And like, I think it was a strange grouping of people in a car, like, and Justy and Danny are great at breaking the ice, like, keeping things going.
Yeah.
And I think Justy just started doing this like real old school 80s thing backstage. Like, the Hulk Hogan, oh well, let me tell you something, and all these little rhyming slangs, and it just started to escalate, and I could see it. Like I was sort of watching in the training. Is that your gym? The gym?
Yeah. It was a
Like
gym shot.
like this tiny area to get changed. Like it was tiny. So like everyone could hear what was going on. There's no way they couldn't. But I was just watching it, and it was me, him, and Phil, and Danny talking, and it just kept going, and he just kept escalating and coming up with all these ridiculous things as if he was calling himself the fuck machine. It doesn't matter if you're dirty or clean. Everybody gets fucked by the fuck machine. And he would keep on amping it in that fuck machine. Like that real, I mean, we must have come up with about 100 of these. And Phil was like, you have to do this. Justin, you have to go and do this. You have to do this in the ring. And Justy was cutting a promo. And so he went out and started cutting this promo. And it started off okay. Started off fine. Like it was a nice little promo. And then I was in the toilet, actually. So I really needed to do a poop. Like it just came on to me. I was like, Justy, keep this ticking over here because I need to go to the toilet.
No better boy to keep something ticking over.
He kept going, but Jesus, did he entertain? Like,
Phil Boyd was crying.
Yeah,
he was. Luke said he was like, because he was like, look at Phil. Phil was at the door. He was like, there was tears coming down.
Phil has this knack where, like, when he laughs, like Phil has a level of laughing, and he can't go beyond it, even if he wants. Like it's the same. It looks exactly the same, but internally, you could tell he was fucking dying. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was in the toilet laughing. Like he was talking about he wouldn't pick a Mickey if he had to pick a Mickey out of a barrel. He wouldn't. Like I didn't even know what was being said. You go, fuck my shit. So honestly, the match, like the match we had planned, near enough went out the window. But like, and Phil said it, Justy was on a different level, like wrestling wise. Like, it was the first time I've ever worked with Justy. I've always wanted to because of the character, but then afterwards it's like, jeez, fuck, Justy can go. Like, Justy is a wrestling machine. He knows what he does. He knows what he's good at, and he sticks to it. And like, just managing a crowd, like that was something I always thought I was good at, and then I was like, right. Yeah, you're good at it? No, you're not. Because he is. Like, what? This is unreal. I never had so much fun.
He's the best in the country as all round. There's like, okay, he's not Jordan Devlin, like from a wrestling capacity, but there's nobody can hold. Well, he's in the top drawer of people that can hold a crowd. I won't say nobody. Martin is amazing at it as well. There's a few really tough.
I think one thing that he's uniquely good at in Ireland, like maybe not completely uniquely, but you can put him in the first match, the last match, the middle match, the match just before intermission, the match just after intermission, put him in a comedy match, a fucking serious match, a fucking story match, whatever you want, and he'll somehow make it fucking entertaining and great. Like,
yeah.
That match that he had with DCT
was
one of my favorite matches I've actually watched. So much so, I was wrestling on wrestling.ie the next night or the following week, and honestly, stole the match completely. Stole it. Remembered it and stole it. Like, I stole that match because it was just like it was so old school 80s, but it fit perfectly in 2019. Like, it wasn't out of place. It was you know, like it essentially they had a wrestling.ie match, you know, but in the right way for Phoenix. That actually was, the crowd lost their shit. Do you know, everyone thinks when you have an over 18s independent show, people want to see blood and fucking 630s and people damn near killing themselves. They don't. They want to have fun. That crowd down in Phoenix are brilliant. Like,
they were really hot that night. Actually, that was actually that was February 2020. It was the first show of the year.
Yeah,
fucking storm outside. I mean, there was a fucking storm, proper hurricane shit. Like,
yeah, that's right. Actually, I remember that.
We had a fucking ball that night. I think it was our second best show. It was up there with our very first show, which was really, really, really good show. And yeah, I agree with you. DCT and fucking Justy were amazing that night.
I remember I watched it, and then I think it was Debbie had to follow. I was like, God, I envy you having to follow that. Fairness, she did all right, like.
Absolutely. Yeah,
but that match for me, that Justy match, I went, yeah, like when you give him a rope, like when you give him something to play with, and you get him where he's happy and he's engaged, and like he had that in PW where he was working with Darren Kearney, in a tag, and hottest, like people loved it. It was just it was so different, you know. Yeah. Where everyone's trying to be cool, he's not. He's different. He's not trying to be the badass cool guy. He's standing out like nobody else.
Well, he definitely knows what he is, and he knows what he wants.
Yeah.
I love running ideas by him or just chatting to him. Was it that show? No, it was our last gym show we did. I just drove up to Clare and collected him because I wanted to talk to him on the way down. It was a 2-hour drive just to pick his brains and just run some shit by him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It can be invaluable, like.
Fucking is invaluable. No, especially since I'm, kind of doing this solo. Having someone on board at at that level that's with so much experience, it's fucking just bounce some ideas, because like everybody going to have bad ideas and good ideas, and it's good to get a sounding board to that. But I could watch him, and I could watch Be Cool all fucking day. That's the type of wrestling I it's everyone. Wrestling is subjective, I know that. But as from my personal taste, I love that type of character working wrestling matches. I'm rewatching Raw at the moment. I'm watching all the Raws in 1993. I'm currently just going into Survivor Series 1993. I've just watched like all the Raws from 1993, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, SummerSlam. But I can't wait to get into like the 94 stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because I can remember this shit. I was just going into secondary school. Do you know? But yeah, love it. Back to part 3 of Thirsty Thursdays, where we've had a short break where we didn't talk about anything interesting at all. And in the last part of these podcasts, what we like to do is we like to ask our guests who they would think would win in a brawl for all. And people who missed the concept, so I'm going to be very clear in the concept here now, Luth. Right? This is a fight. It's not a fucking wrestling show, but we are hosting it. So we're going to be tapping out our power bombs. It's a fight.
Yeah.
You got 8 people, and it's an Irish island.
Christ.
Okay. The only person that is not on the island that we allow in is William Ever, because he has Irish parents and his passport is Irish.
So he's technically an Irish wrestler too.
His mom's from Cork. Anybody's mother's from Cork is Irish, as far as I'm concerned. On my part,
right?
On my broad front.
This is difficult because Irish wrestling's full of softies, so I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Just to give you a bit of context, in the unaired bit, Raven booked herself to win it.
I was very drunk. This doesn't
We were
count.
both very drunk. So the first time we did this,
Will you stop doing that?
okay, this will be the last time I bring it up. But in the first
You
episode,
didn't keep that in my podcast one, did you?
no, I didn't. I couldn't.
Good.
We were going to be two of us.
Go on.
So the whole concept was going to be beers of Bedlam, right? At the very start,
Right.
I wanted to keep myself sane during lockdown and also keep the Phoenix fans a little bit entertained, or like they were still part of what we're doing. But I figured out very quickly that Raven is way better at interviewing than I am, because she interviewed me instead of me interviewing her. And we had so much fun. We did like 3.5 hours. It was supposed to be an hour, and we edited it down to an hour because most of it was just us talking
shite.
shit.
Talking shit.
Shit talk is the most entertaining of all the talks.
It is.
It is indeed.
So
anyway, I can't remember where we are now in the whole thing, but I think we're at the Brawl for All bit, right?
Yeah.
for all.
Yeah.
I'm such a professional. I'm such a professional. This is great. Anyway,
Right, so just out of curiosity, who has won previous people's Brawl for All?
I think Phil Boyd has won 2.
Right.
Scotty Davis, I think, won.
Yeah, I
Fucking
think.
Katie would knock his balls in.
I think Liam Roy.
I can assure it.
won.
Liam Royal won one. Phil Boyd won't be winning mine. I can assure you. What?
Hates Phil Boyd.
Why not?
Hates Phil Boyd.
We shooting?
Well, mate, no, like no, because Katie would knock his pan in. So they're like, I mean,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
fact. That's the truth.
Debbie booked Justy to win. I think I
She.
booked Phil to win. Raven booked Raven to win.
So I'm gonna win.
What did you fucking keep talking about it?
We edited. We didn't do the one for Luke in the end because Ivy came and disrupted it. So we're going to do a second part with Luke because we so much to talk about.
Right. So I'm gonna do my. I'm gonna try and
You
make
go.
mine all Ireland. So I'm gonna have 4 Northerners and 4
Oh,
Southerners.
fucking Nordies!
I will have to have.
The only Nordy we've had so far is Gav Fitz.
He wouldn't win ever.
Yeah, no, I was like it was Owen Richards booked him against Bruiser, and he kept oh yeah, he put up a fight. He was like, no, he wouldn't. And it's no disrespect.
Owen Richards must have been looking at booking or something. What's going on there?
Oh, he's going to get plenty bookers. It's over from there.
Oh, that's him sorted.
But Bruiser would knock the living shit out. You know what I mean? Pop, boom. In the ring by mistake by Bruiser. Imagine if he actually tried to fucking do it. Fucking like a tank. Anyway, sorry, go. I digress.
Right, so every first round, I'm going to do it every first round. Fucking pen. Every first round will be a Southerner versus a Northerner, and then we'll
I love it.
finale, right?
Yeah,
So the first Northerner, right? I'm going to put Tucker in.
Ooh, Johnny.
Okay.
Now, and I'll tell you why. Because there's something fucking wrong with his head. Like, he's not right. now, anyone who knows him will attest, like, he's not well. He's obviously in good shape, as you may have seen from the 16,000 abs that he has on his body.
Abs for days.
Yeah. You might say
he makes up for the rest of us having no abs. He's got.
Yeah, he makes up for it.
Thank you for that, Tucker.
Now, I don't know whether being a massive MMA fan counts as being good at fighting, but he's a big fan of MMA.
Well,
but I have seen him literally beat himself up backstage before he goes out. Like, do you know you're going to get ready for a match, you're relaxed, you're feeling good. He's punching himself in the head. Like, he's hitting himself. He's going out for a real fight. Psychotic. So I'll put him in. So I need a Southerner now. I need one that Joe Cabret. Tucker versus Joe Cabret.
Straight in, no man.
We'll go with a big for he's big, like big arms, looks hard. Definitely could throw a dig, I'd say.
Yeah. I'd say so. Yeah.
Also, like, people fear him.
Oh, sorry, Joe.
I don't fear him. Damn it.
He said that.
He's just another man. No, I like Joe. So that's my first round. Do I have to pick a winner now?
Yes.
Um,
Or do you want to pick all the first round games
Okay.
and winners?
Somebody
Okay.
write it down there,
Okay.
because I won't remember.
I'll get it there. Don't worry.
I got a digital thing though.
is there a website that shows you all the people in Irish wrestling anymore?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Some of those guys off the .ie website look hard though. They look. have you
They
ever
look
been on
proper
there?
big. They look bigger than they normally would. You
That
know?
Alexander Dean one looks hard on that website.
Yeah.
Right.
Even Lance
So-
Houlihan would look big on that one.
So that's a first round match. Right, another first round match. I'm gonna go Bonesaw.
Big strong.
He
I wouldn't like
big,
to
strong
punch
dad.
off Bonesaw.
no, he's a strong lad. Have you ever seen his calves?
Yes. I
Fucking
have,
good,
yeah.
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 Like, there's a man who actually his calves are too big for his legs. Like he struggles with the pain of how big his calves are. They're gonna burst through someday.
Socks tell him to fuck off, I heard.
Yeah. Oh, he's a big yoke, big unit of a fella, and he definitely looks like some sort of hardline unionist paramilitary. Do you know, if you were to picture the head of the UDA, you look at him. But he's a teacher and he's a lovely man, right? And, he's a lovely man.
No, not is he? No, not is he a lovely man? Is he a teacher?
Yeah, he's a teacher,
Like a school teacher?
school teacher.
Fuck off.
He's a school teacher.
Yes, Mr. Bonesaw. You're not going to burn your fucking home with legs, are you? Like,
Mr.
Mr.
Bonesaw.
Saw. Thank you, sir, Mr. Saw.
I think is he a technology teacher? I might have made that up.
I always love people's
History or-
jobs, like especially guys
like
you're like, God, he's a what?
yeah, there's some serious jobs.
Jimmy
out there,
Havoc
like
was a
people like
part-time teacher before.
Yeah, Jimmy Havoc. Yeah.
While he
Wow.
was like actually Jimmy Havoc. But like, imagine Jimmy Havoc walking into your class when your teacher is not there.
Yeah, you'd be
Like,
doing.
You'd be like,
You'd be fucking doing
What?
exactly what he says, yeah.
He'd fucking staple your ass to the fucking blackboard.
right. So I have Bonesaw and I need a hard southerner.
I love the way we're doing this north fucking south divide. Like this.
Yeah, but listen. I'm not looking to create any boundaries between.
No,
people.
let's create boundaries. Let's create them. Let's embrace the boundaries that we have, and let's love the division, and let's bring it together. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Like everyone's a bit of a pussy, aren't they? Bonesaw. Who could?
Everyone's a pussy down south, are they?
Yeah, well, just in general, everywhere. I mean, that's why we all.
So we're
fight.
fucking starting. Should we
There's a-
start
there's a-
now? Don't you be starting now, Valentine?
Now, fucking Jim Cornette gets a hold of this podcast and hears me say this. That's why we all fake fight in our underwear with our mates. That's what we do
Whoa, wee.
for a bit of crack.
Did you fake fight with your mates with your shaved chest? Can on, motherfucker.
Yeah, like it's. Right, so I've got Bonesaw. I'll throw a southerner in. Who looks hard? Who looks?
There's nothing
who
fake
looks
about
nice?
wrestling, right? You fucking get that shit out. Get that shit out of my face.
Raven has a look on her face to go, fake motherfucker. Who are you talking about?
No,
Like,
it's
that is
more
the-
so that Bedlam is trying to combat the fakeness with a puppet. But
I think you misrepresentation. I think you misunderstand the word combat with not combat.
what are you talking about?
I don't know.
How
I
many
have
cans
good.
have you had? For fuck's
I
sake,
have
put
good.
your hair
I
down for
have,
Southern
I
Ireland.
have
Are we
good
done here?
times. I
Are
have.
we done?
Woo! How can this?
I will go
Anyway, go on.
Bonesaw versus Liam Royal.
Oh Jesus! That'd be a fucking clash of fucking muscles.
That'll go on just before Thor and Eddie Hall.
Nice.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
That's just two big units, right? Third one. Third, we'll go Phil Boyd. Phil Boyd can throw. Like I'd say Phil. I seen Phil Boyd lose his shit once, and it was frightening. So Phil Boyd, and I need a northerner for him. Who've we got?
The partner Bonesaw is also there.
I throw him in, Corvin. Throw Corvin in.
Which one? The vampire Corvin or?
It doesn't matter.
He bites you. He turn you into a fucking
vampire Corvin or not. It doesn't matter. He's not going past the first round, so don't worry about it. He's all show, no throw. And the last one, see, now what I'm afraid of is in 10 minutes thinking of someone and realizing, yeah, forgot about that fucker. He's grimy.
Well, you're limiting yourself anyway by selecting 4 minorities, in my opinion. But go on, I digress.
Am I? Well, there's not much else going on down south, is there? Like I suppose when you actually look at the elite guys, who's elite? Who's an elite wrestler in Northern or in OTT or Phoenix?
We're talking about fighters. The fuck wrestling, like we're talking about who, like.
No. I mean, probably could throw a few hands, like. Who's got a good GAA background apart from yourself? Who played a lot of hurling?
I don't think anybody else.
Any
politicking to be in your top 8, like, but I'm.
Any hurling goalkeepers?
No, but I am.
There's something wrong with those.
I'm the goalkeeper.
Billy, you're going in.
I finished the wrestling match with a broken hip. Do you know what I mean? You fucking talking to me at all?
But did you bring on that broken hip yourself? Because of your age and your brittle bones?
No, it was a Steve Savage crossbody that was more horizontal than lateral.
Steve Savage is a big yoke, isn't he?
I wouldn't like a punch off him or to get in his wrong side.
Nah, Steve is all fucking fashion and style. I don't think that he knows how to throw a punch.
I think they're probably more fashion muscles now. You know what I mean?
Billy, you're going in. Listen, every brawl for all needs an old timer.
Yes, why? I've probably a couple of these.
Get yourself in there. Plus, you'd definitely have a couple of stout in you beforehand. Anything could go down. Like
my one move, my GA move. I've said this before. Is if I have to fight anybody, I grab by whatever is here and I headbutt the shit out of your fucking face. If that doesn't work, I'm fucked. If it works, yeah, then I get a couple of jabs in. But I will be primarily going for the nose with the head. The head is hard. It's the GA head. I didn't wear a helmet till I was 28 because I had to when I was 28. But I've had Hurleys broken off me for 17 years.
Right. You don't need to sell it. You're already in. Relax. You're in.
Sorry.
You're in.
Sorry, I'm after a few gynaeses. That's what the hippies call it, right? The gynaeses.
The black ale. Right. So the last one, then I'm going in. I want a shot at me.
Me and you. Oh, fuck.
I want a shot at this. I want a shot at this. I want a shot at this title. Paul Tracy will be raging he's not in. But
he'd be legitimate wrestling, but this is a broad fight, you see.
He was close. He was close. I'll not lie. I was close to having Paul Tracy in.
Yeah.
And I know I forgot a lot of other people, but they're just not in my head. They're irrelevant to me. So, and I've also just realised it's a very sexist fight that I've started now. Because there's no women.
But it's.
I apologise.
Yeah, but it's I'm not trying to be sad.
Go ahead.
You said. I don't want to say it.
But there's a difference between go ahead. A fight, a legitimate fight. You don't see intergender UFC for a reason. You don't see.
All right, Joe Rogan. Fuck me.
No, but it's true. Like,
And you're not saying that I couldn't kill everyone in Phoenix?
Oh, there's no weapons, like. You're
Exactly. I'm
definitely a
not talking
stab.
about weapons.
look,
You're
listen,
definitely a stabber.
listen, Raven. I like you. We get on really well.
Yeah.
But if you think you're beating
Be
me,
careful or I'll break your hip, lad.
well, you can try.
It wouldn't
Again,
take much.
Headbutt to the nose, and it's all over.
Okay. Do you remember the matches or?
What, sorry, what? Are we recording?
Yeah, I remember them.
Hello, are we still on? I'm very sorry. I've had a few gynices.
So the first one was Tucker Cabray.
Oh, shit,
Yeah.
yeah.
The second one was Bonesaw Liam Royal.
Yeah.
Third one was Phil Boyd Corvin. And the fourth was me and Billy Bedlam.
Oh, what a brawl for all.
Holler!
That's money. Well, at least you get two big entrances with me and you. You know?
You get look.
You get production value.
Yeah, you're getting production value on a piss break. So now we're on to something.
Absolutely.
Right. So now I need to pick the winners. Right, Tucker Cabray. Tucker. I'm going Tucker.
Ooh. Johnny Tucker.
Because I don't get booked on OTT. No, because no, like this is an honest story, right? Culture night, the last culture night, he was in the main event, and so he won. But then I was to go in the ring and set up me and him feuding, and the idea was all the people there didn't know who we were, but hopefully we would, get them involved, and sell tickets to the show. So I come in the ring, and it's literally just meant to be a face-off. And his back's turned, and I'm stood there with the Culture Night title. Oh, look at me, I'm fucking great. And he's just won his match. And he finally realizes I'm there. And he turns around, and his mouth's white. It's like he has rabies. Raven, are you sleeping? Oh, that was definitely... I said that about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think it came back. Okay, it came back.
Okay.
So I can edit this shit out.
Yeah. So then Tucker turns white, like he had rabies, and this is meant to be a fake face-off, like it's wrestling. It's not real. And he is legit ready to have a fight. Like I can see it in him that he wants a fight. Like Tucker, relax. This isn't real. Like it's just a bit of a face-off, and he wants to murder. There's something wrong. He's been hit in the head too many times. Chair shots. So Tucker's going through.
Tucker goes through.
Tucker goes through. Right. Now we've got
Next one.
on Liam Royal. Fuck. Liam Royal.
Boom.
I'm going Liam Royal. And I'll tell you why I'm going Liam Royal. He's got that young blood running through him. Wants to prove himself.
Plus, he looks like a fucker. He would actually kill you.
Now, Big Boner's a big lad, but he has 2 kids at home, and he's probably just not going to put himself on the line. Like I seen Liam Royal wearing grey tracksuit bottoms with white socks, and the white socks were tucked over the tracksuit bottoms. That's the sort of man you don't want to fuck with.
Next one.
We have
Boyd and Corbin.
Boyd,
yeah, Phil Boyd. That's not even hard. That's the sorry, Corbin. Like, but you're not getting a look in there.
And yourself in Bedlam.
And me and myself in Bedlam. I will pick me just because.
Yeah, I'd pick you too.
I mean, like, I can't remember the last time I won a fight or anything like that. But you have to believe in yourself in this day and age.
You do.
Right.
So we're into the semi-finals, right? Semi-finals. What we're thinking is, what we're saying so is we got Tucker, who's true. We've got Liam Royal. Is it Liam Royal Tucker semi-final?
Yeah.
Is it? No, I was definitely going to have 2 Northerners and 2 Southerners against each other here.
We've got Tucker, Liam Royal. We've got yourself, and who's the...
Phil Boyd.
Phil Boyd. Okay, we'll go Right, so it's Tucker versus Liam Royal.
Yeah.
I'm going Tucker again. I am. There's something psychotic about him. There's just something not right in his head. That I think he would, like, if you told him something wrong, he'd fight for it and die and stuff. Whatever that means. So he goes through.
So Tucker, if you're listening, Luther thinks you're mental.
He's fucking not right in the head. Like, have you ever wrestled him? Have you ever been in a ring with him?
I have, yeah. As the skull
He's a vicious cunt.
Yeah.
Like, so sorry, Liam, but I mean, you put up a good showing, but you're done. You beat Bonesaw for the kids, but Tucker doesn't have kids to fight for.
If he was in his alternative, you know, he does the when he talks to his chuck dog like that, like when that's
the strangest. It's the strangest thing in the world. Like, it just turns into a weirdo.
He's like, when he gets carbs, that's what happens when he gets carbs. He's like,
oh,
we're going to Cork, are we? We're going to Cork. Okay.
Did he do that in Cork? Did he do that?
He did that for the Courage one, yeah.
That's what it was. He was sitting. I think he was having a couple of beers the night before or something.
Yeah.
And he just done this strange thing where he woke up on his living room floor beside pizza or something.
That's the one. That's the one.
And it was like he was getting on like a lad.
Like, oh no, he's had carbs. Next day he's like, hey, I'm going to Cork. It's like, right. This is good though. I like it. It's different.
Lunatic. So then it's me.
You versus Phil.
Phil probably knocked my balls in, like, if I'm honest.
I don't think there's a probability there.
What do you mean? Look, there's this aura around Phil Boyd.
I don't think there's a probably there.
Why? Phil Boyd ever had any professional proper fights against anyone?
Yes, actually, he's a black belt in submission wrestling.
But wrestling's not real, really.
Yeah, I know, but he's a black belt in submission wrestling, which is real.
Okay.
It's like MMA.
Is it?
Yes.
Or is it? Okay. Then we'll give it to him. I'll give him that. Right. I see what you're trying to do here. So we'll get. Look, I'm going to say he's going to win a very close contest. Yeah, I'll give it to him. So we have a final. Look, I put in a good show and I got this semi-final. I'm happy. I earned a nice paycheck.
You were probably beat up after the first round, you know.
Well, it took you know, fucking GAA boys, like, they're rough.
Well, we had a 30-minute entrance between the two of us anyway.
Yeah, we're fucking gassed.
We were fucking gassed as fuck. Like,
I was blowing out my hole at that stage.
You know.
The final.
I had opera singers and the can and everything.
Do you know all I've been thinking about is the entrances for Phoenix? Like, it's all I can think about. Like, anytime you message, I'm like, right, what can I do? What am I doing here?
I'm trying to buy I'm trying to buy you a big fucking cinema screen at the moment, type of thing. So we can project onto it no matter where we go.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
So the finals, Phil Boyd and Tucker. Did you say Phil Boyd's won 2 already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting knocked the fuck out in this one. So that's it. Phil Boyd, your winning streak's over. Tucker's winning.
Ooh, give him some carbs, you see, and he'll do his free.
He's having a bowl of rice and he's
4-star pizza. 4-star pizza.
I'm not saying I think he would actually win. And well, no, he would. Yeah. No, yeah, I'm going Tucker. My loyalty lies with Tucker. I can't have a dirty Southerner winning. So.
Well, you know, true colours shine through there. You know, that's what I'm saying. No.
Well, you boys have had it. You boys have had it easy all these years. Us ones up north have had to struggle, fight for our freedom.
Yeah, I know.
So that's that.
You know, but like, you know, how's that working out for you?
Before we get too political, do you want to end this before you offend literally every single person on this fucking island?
I'm not offending anyone. I'm already messing. He knows this. Like,
Go on, Seth, you son of a bitch.
what now?
Seth, say what you're feeling inside.
I've nothing but love for you, my brother.
Good, good. No, that was fun. I enjoyed that.
It was. It was. It was.
I
I
actually forgot I was in the middle of doing a podcast there.
yeah, I am. So did I, obviously, because I got drunk. You know what? I have. It's my house. I can do what I want.
I'm over 18. I do what I want.
I'm over 40. I can do what I want. I'm the master of my own castle, and I can edit this if I want to. So, on that note, I've been Billy Bedlam, Billy Boom Boom, Billy Bonks, Billy Bonks.
I've been Raven.
And this guy right
Up? Am I up? No. Oh,
You're down.
my name's Luther Valentine, and I do the wrestles still. So
until next time, motherfuckers. Stay safe.
thanks for having me.
God bless. And see you soon.